This is so important. This is like what we are all about, really. It's so important. I want you to listen up if you like. This is from the Daily Mail. Singer Sara Bareilles, Bareilles, revealed she is taking medication for anxiety and depression. She is taking medication for anxiety and depression. Can you imagine that? You have to be out of your mind to take medication for anxiety and depression as though that's the cure to it. She's taking medication for anxiety and depression and said she finally feels like herself again. That's a false feeling. Really, that's a false, and I'm not a doctor, but that's a false feeling. After a decade-long struggle with mental health, now that she's taking medication for anxiety and depression, she's finally feel like herself again, quote unquote. The 42-year-old explained that she decided to try taking medication for her mental health issues after 20 years of feeling very strongly that it was not the path she needed to take. So she went 20 years feeling very strongly, and that's her up there if you're watching live. That's her there. Feeling very strongly that she would resist the medication because it was not the path she needed to take. According to her, things got especially worse over the last year, and she started to wonder if she'll ever find a way out. Things got worse. She started to wonder, will I ever find a way out? But after starting medication, she has since rediscovered joy, optimism, and laughter. Amazing, huh? She says she found a profound, holy relief. Isn't that amazing? She's calling medication for quote-unquote anxiety and depression profound, holy release. Yeah, it's holy, all right. Sara explained that for the last year she felt desperate and overwhelmed almost all the time, and that trying to manage her emotions would often exhaust her. It was too much to bear, huh? It would make her tired, trying to control her emotions, manage her emotions. She wrote, for those who don't understand it, from the inside of depression, sometimes you can't see the personality of a way out. The possibility of a way out. For those who don't understand it, from the inside of depression, sometimes you can't see the possibility of a way out. I didn't feel like me anymore. I didn't feel like me anymore. I had so many thoughts. I couldn't just concentrate on the good things. She had so many thoughts. She could not concentrate on the good things. Amazing. I want to respond to this woman, this Sara Bareilles, right? Bareilles. So she is on medication now, according to this report, for anxiety and depression. She says that she finally feels like herself again. Number one, impossible. Medication gives you a false feeling of salvation, a false feeling of self. When she gets off the medication, and if she gets off, or she misses a day or two from taking them, she's not going to be able to handle it. because she's not dealing with life moment to moment to moment. The medication is relaxing her and making her think or cause her to think that she's herself. But that's not true. You can't solve spiritual issues with physical things, medication, or anything. Anything on the outside of you. You should never, 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 but ever look for outside for spiritual solutions. It doesn't exist. The worst thing, and there are many, 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 many worse things, right? But head in the list of worst things is looking for a spiritual solution from the outside. It only makes you worse. It's not out there, folks. It's inside of you. And if you want to overcome depression and anxiety, stop reacting to the world, you got to overcome anger. You got to overcome anger. Otherwise, you will catch hell on earth forever. Your whole life will be hell on earth. You can live in the world without it, or you can live in the world with it. It's up to you. It's up to you. After 42 years, she says she feels very strongly that she felt that medication wasn't the right way to go, or the way for mental health issues. She was right. For 20 years, she tried to stay away from it, and now she's on it. Somebody, somewhere, should have told her, you know what, lady, you need to seek the kingdom of God and his right way, and he'll bring you out of that hell, because all she's doing and has done and is doing is identify with this it thing that made a home in her, the thing that talks to her and bring pain, fear, anxiety, depression. It's all fear. And fear is the nature of Satan. Anyone who has fear is believing in lies and believing in the ego, which is not themselves, right? You stop believing in that ego, know that that's not you, and stop naming and claiming it, you will be free. Only thing that can free you up from so-called anxiety and depression is the Spirit of the Father. The Spirit of the Father, the same Spirit as in Christ. Otherwise, you can hang it up, folks. You would never be yourself. You would never be free. You would never be your own man or own woman. You would be catching hell on earth. Really. She even said that she found a profound holy relief. That's an unholy relief. Satan's spirit is an unholy relief. Check it with anybody. And most people are living in the ego thinking that it's them. Oh, I feel fear. I worry. I look back. I look forward. I'm jealous. I'm envious. I'm this and I'm that. They identify with the ego. They're naming and claiming it, and it's pulling them deeper into the darkness. I'm telling you as a witness, that's not you. And you got to stop identifying with it, separate from it. The light of God will separate the real you from the not you. You are life. And in you, it's the Spirit of the Father. And in you, there is no fear, no doubt, no worry, no concerns. Zero. It would be impossible to feel any of those things when you stop identifying with it. Really. It's not real. It's a lie. It's an illusion. He will make you look at the past and just think about it. There is no past. What happened then happened then. It doesn't even exist anymore. But the ego, which is not you, will make you think it does. It still is. And it's not true. It's over. No future. If the past were bad, then the future must be better. So Satan calls you to look to the future, which doesn't exist. It's all an illusion, folks. That's why I'm warning you, do what you want. But you need to get away from the crowd and start being you so you can see. And he will reveal. God's voice is a voiceless voice. He never talked to you with words. He reveals. Revelation. He reminds you of what you already know, really. He reveals things to you. And as long as you listen to the voice, the noise in your head, you're going to suffer. And you can stop suffering right now, at this very moment, if you just come into the present. Stay with your body. Don't let your body be in the present and your mind in the past or the future or to the left or to the right and tossed and turned. Stay with your body. You can't help but stay in the present. And you will see that that thing in you is not you, and you will stop identifying with it, and you shall have peace. But you must forgive. You got to overcome anger so God can draw you in and change your heart, and the light start working on your behalf. This woman is saying that after she started the medication, she has since discovered joy, optimism, and laughter, all fake. Stop taking that medication. Her joy is gone. Her optimism is gone. And the laughters turn to tears. The laughter would turn to tears. Fear and tears. And they would terrorize you. And it's not you. You think that you're even terrorizing yourself. It's mind-blowing, folks. She explained that for the last year, she felt desperate, overwhelmed, almost all the time, trying to manage her emotions. Emotions are evil. Emotions are not from God. And it's not real love. Emotions are the nature of Satan. It's a different reality, folks. You got to come in the present. You don't have to, but I'm encouraging you to. And live your life. You got to live your life. Be in the world, but not of it. Be in the world, but not of it. Christ came, and I'm telling you, everything is fine. Really, all is well. But it's not going to be that way as long as you live in your head, thinking that is you. As long as you're judging yourself and your fellow man. Anyone who has little iota of anger, period, you're not happy. You're miserable. Really, you are. I don't care what you say. You're miserable. And some people, they love that misery, right? Because they think that it's them, they love it. They don't want you to take that away from them. How dare you tell me I could have peace? How dare you tell me anger is not good, or I can't control my anger. They don't want to hear it. So to them, suffer and die. But to those who want to be free, go forgive mama. Return to the Father, be born. Once you forgive your earthly father for not protecting you from your mother, then you're going to enter into the kingdom where you truly forgive. Because there's fake forgiveness too. You could hear me say, or anyone say, oh, you need to forgive. And you're like, oh, yeah, I need to forgive. And you go and do a forgiveness, but that's not real. You got to see it. All the reason that God caused me to forgive, he allowed me to see that I had that anger. I didn't know that I didn't have love. I thought I did because I felt emotional love that came from anger. But I cried out to him, hey, I'm sick of this life. I can't change myself. What the? Well, I didn't say what the at the time. But I stopped. I gave up. And when I was sick a while back, I really realized that I am not in control of anything. I'm like, I'm all in. I can't change this. I can't change anything. And when you get to that point, you're going to fly like an eagle. When you truly see you can't change anything, you're not in control of anything. The ego did not want you to think that you are, and you're not. Medication is not going to help that. I'm counseling with people on medication, and they're miserable. And then they go from one medication to another one because after a while, the original medication is not enough. It doesn't work at all. It doesn't even make you feel free. So they have to up the ante, meaning make it stronger. And so now you're addicted to medication. You can't even deal with life because you're not dealing with life. How about dealing with life? Not being a beta male or female. This, in closing, this woman said she didn't feel like herself anymore. She had so many thoughts. I couldn't just concentrate on the good things. No such thing as concentrating on the good things. You should not concentrate on anything. You should observe. Because she has so many thoughts, which were not her own, but she's thinking that those are her thoughts. So she's trying to concentrate on the good ones. They're both imposters. No such thing as a good thought. Really. And so she's on medication now. She's free. So she thinks it's not going to work. You can't solve spiritual issues with medication. You only make them worse. They give them names, titles like PSD, something like that, post-stress disorder. Or they name it depression. Or they name it anxiety. Don't put the name to it. Just know you're in your head. And it's not you, but you believed into it. It's the ego, all right? It's up to you. But that's what, medication's not going to help. Look at the people who are on medication for these spiritual issues. They're not being helped. And then they come off the medication, they're like a psycho. They can't handle anything, overreact even more so to the world around them. Amazing. And don't forget to like, follow, tweet, subscribe, and share the Jesse Lee Peterson radio show, folks. We really appreciate it. We are at war. It is a spiritual battle for the soul of America. And it's going to take all of us to do it.